Hey guys, I'm the one in 1.3. Welcome to the family. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Sophia and I have home educated my children since 2013. I'm not currently home educating any of my children as they're all gone off to do their own further education things and I'm free. Not really. I've got a dog, so it's just like having another child, really. But anyway, the time is, I think it's about 8 o'clock on a Friday night. It's 1st of December, and I was sitting here just thinking about homeschool groups because I ran a really awesome homeschool group, and I felt like, you know what? Many people keep approaching me, asking me if I can do it again, but no, I wouldn't really. I don't know. I might. People keep asking me whether I'd do it again, but I just feel as though my children are in school, and I would if there was a need for it. But I was just thinking that if you don't have a home school group in your area, you might want to make your own. So in a moment, I'm going to show you a video of one of my homeschool groups, but I just thought I'd talk to you a little bit more about the group first of all. So here's our logo. This logo, the name came from Malaya. When the kids were younger, I got them to sit down and think about our group and a name for our group. We already had a vision. We already knew that it was going to be a homeschool group for Christian families, and it was going to be a group where we can help them with the ACE curriculum, which we use in our homeschool period. So this logo kind of shows that, the home, the cross, and the name at the bottom. I don't know what it says at the very bottom. Watford, yeah, it was a homeschool group in Watford. So the first thing I'd say to do if you are thinking about groups, formulating a group or looking for a group is to find one or make one. So if you're unable to find a group locally that doesn't really suit your purpose or there's just none in your area, then you may consider making a group, and it's not as difficult as it may seem. However, if there is a group in your area that does align with your philosophy and your expectation of groups, I would say nurture that one, like join that group and help to make it better rather than competing with the group. Because obviously within the home education community, there isn't as many groups around anyway. So I'm more talking to the person who's looking for a group to run because there isn't any in the area. So many home ed groups in the UK are informal networks of homeschooling families who come together to support each other in their home education journeys. These groups often form around shared interests or philosophies, and they may meet regularly for socialization and trips and educational activities. And that's what I found of my groups, because what I found, we did have different groups in the area. Sometimes we had like a group in September that would be held in a park, and it's just called the non back to school group basically. So meet in a park, it's nice and free, there's no regulations there. If the weather's nice, children can just talk to each other and make friends. It's not as easy as that. So what tends to happen is the parents make friends with other parents, and then we might team our children up to see if they'd like to be friends, and they decide for themselves whether or not they liked it or didn't like it. So obviously in a traditional classroom, children are just kind of lumbered into the same group and they have to make friends in that classroom whether they like it or not. It wasn't like that from my experience. I found that my oldest boy and my youngest and my girl, they took a little bit longer to really trust people, whereas Tiago would jump straight in and just be like, "Oh, can I have the ball?" Like people playing basketball or football and just join in. So it really depends on the child and what their personality is like. But I think the philosophy is very important though, because we went to many groups. There was one group that was held in Kew Gardens. I don't know what type of philosophy these people had, but I know they was very different from us. They were very earthy, a bit um I don't know. I don't know what sort of people they were. They were very friendly and very kind. But I did notice when I had my cross on, somebody was really against the cross. I don't know what their belief systems were, but we had a good time while we were there, and the owner was really friendly with us. And we would travel up there. That's like maybe 45 minutes from my house. We travel up there once a week, I think it was, and we had a good time there. There were other groups we went to that didn't really align with our philosophies as much, so we didn't really go there very often. But I did find a Christian group called Kids on a Rock, which was fantastic. They had lots of events and different discussions, and the people that were there were just Christian, but they didn't have the same philosophy in terms of, no, they didn't have the same curriculum that they used. But we quite liked that group, and my kids did make friends there. However, we did find that at the beginning it wasn't as open as we would have hoped. Not because they did anything wrong, but my children just felt a bit away, like it was a bit harder for them to kind of make friends and join the different groups because the children seem to know each other really well when they joined. So it took a little bit longer for them to kind of break in. But we were there for quite a while, and we did like sports days and different events, which was really good. And I did use some of the stuff I learned from that group in my own group. So in a moment, like I said, I'm going to show you my group that I created that ran for 3 years. But for now, the first thing I'd say to do is look for, once you have a vision in your mind that you want to start your own group, the next thing, it's more the second thing, but anyway, first thing would be to find a location. Um, Look for a location that's like easy for people to get to, a location that hasn't got any home education groups in the area, but maybe has a number of homeschool families, or even if it doesn't, it should be a place that they are able to travel to. Have a good vision in mind as well. Are you going to be open to everybody to come to the group? Will you have like a faith-based group? Will you just let people know what your worldview is? The vision is actually very important, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why now. But when I started off the group that I was in, I wanted to have a group for the ACE curriculum and Christian families. But after a point, some of the parents wanted to kind of open the group up to other Christian families too. Some of them just wanted to keep it as an ACE group, and it was like not difficult, but I felt like you had to navigate around a few different views in terms of how the group should run. And in the end, I decided to keep it just for families that use the ACE curriculum. Or no, I did say at the end that if they had a curriculum that they use that wasn't ACE, they can bring it in to work alongside the children as well. But I do find that bit there about the vision, that did cause not really any major problems, but it caused a lot of discussion to take place about what to do moving forward with the group. So do bear that in mind, that you need a vision. And then I said you need to find suitable, safe premises with appropriate toilets, kitchen facilities, space for activities, and storage place for equipment. So the venue that we found, there was already a group that ran in there before for ACE, so I took over the group and just made it a bit more, adapted it a little bit more to make it into my own. But it already had a list of families that already joined the group. It was in a lovely area with a car park, there's basketball courts, there's a lovely field area, there was toilets there was different rooms, we could do different things inside. So our premises was like fantastic for different things. There wasn't a space for storage equipment because we was only meeting up once a month, but I was happy to bring things along, and I asked parents to bring things along as well. So, but yeah, just have a little think about your facilities that are available to you when you're creating your group. And then also you need to consider legislation such as health and safety, fire regulations, data protection, food, hygiene, and Equality Act. Most good centres will already have their own policies on those as well. So I kind of just found out what their policies was and joined it into my own policy for people to sign. With things like insurance, you don't really need to have insurance like that because parents are with their children. So it's easy to run a group like a homeschool group because parents are responsible for their children at their own time. Whereas if you're trying to run a nursery or a school, there's other regulations that need to be met. So I spoke to the people that owned the centre to find out what their regulations were and see how things worked. I wrote a quick policy down on my A4 sheet of paper, got parents to sign it, and ta-da, that was our homeschool group. Yeah, I'm not sure if things have changed now. I'm not sure there's more regulations involved for running a homeschool group, but the main thing would be to research it yourself online. Just check out what the different regulations are. You don't have to register with Ofsted because obviously parents with their children the whole time, and you'll only be running for a certain amount of time. What else? Yeah, and that's it. So then after you've done that, the next thing will be to make have a simple set of guidelines for everyone to abide by, including topics such as hot drinks, who will be bringing the hot drinks in, no smoking around the children, no shouting, and no smacking your kids. Because obviously safeguarding is a really important thing within the home education community. So it's just better to have these rules in front of you so that people know how to behave around others, and it just kind of covers you as well. And then also explain to parents how incidents and conflicts will be dealt with. So if there's anything that's going to come up, parents would know who the relevant people were to go to if they needed any help, basically. And finally, think about a format for your group and a routine. I'm going to press play on the video right now for my group. You can kind of have a rough idea what our format was like and what our routine was like. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like these videos, please like and subscribe. You don't have to, but you can if you want. I do these videos every now and again, but I'm hoping to put one out a bit more regularly if you want me to. Also, comment down below if you think I should run some more groups. I'm thinking about running some groups in London area just for homeschoolers because I like it. So, you know, if I was to run a group, would you come? Let me know in the comments down below. Speak to you soon. Bye.